Hey everybody, movie reviewer next door here, and I'll be quite happy to tell you all about this film. Um, Today's film is Hurricane Heist from 2018. Now, yeah, I've seen the reviews online. This gets a 2.1 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I can't remember what it said on IMDb. I think it said 5.1 out of 10. This is easily better than what I watched yesterday by, well, million miles. Because this film isn't like trying to pretend like it's something that it isn't. Twisted was literally pretending to be like, oh, it's about like female empowerment and how she feels lesser than the other men in her unit. And it's just a stupid thriller that makes no sense, and the twist is stupid. This film does exactly what it says it's supposed to be on the tin. A heist happens during a hurricane. An officer and a meteorologist try to stop what's happening and save the money. I don't know what people were looking for. But yeah, I'll just say right off the bat, yes, I do like the film. I gave it a 9 out of 10. No, I'll say it. I love the film. I think this is one of those rare disaster films that actually, like, gets me. It didn't make me cry or anything, no. I mean, like, it's like it's after my own heart. Heart's here, whatever. I understand people that I follow on YouTube don't like the film. That's perfectly fine. I can understand it, to be honest. This is one of those films, if you go into it thinking it's going to be a serious film, you're sorely mistaken. This is far from it. This film knows... Let me pull it a little closer. This film knows it's ridiculous, and it doesn't try to, go around it. It doesn't try to take itself too overly serious. It has its moments of serious where it needs it. And there are some moments that are actually really funny when they get serious. Like, characters will be joking, and then it'll go straight into a dialogue about, oh, I hope you never have to see someone that you love die in front of your own eyes. I did. There are moments, but I'll get to that. Let me start off with the cast. I actually really like the cast of this film. There were quite a few people online who were not. I'm gonna go by what the cast should say. Maggie Grace as Casey. I can't remember the last name, but Maggie Grace is one of those actresses. She, from what I've seen, she was Brian Mills' daughter in the Taken trilogy. She was fine in those. She was kind of just a damsel in distress, which I'm fine with, but she was kind of just there. I actually really liked her in a film called Faster, starring Dwayne Johnson. That's one of the few Dwayne Johnson films I've seen so far that I actually really like. I really liked that movie. It was a bit of a darker turn for him, and I liked his performance, and I liked, well, of course, the tone. And I liked that it was more of a dramatic role for him. But yeah, Maggie Grace was really good in that, especially in the alternate ending. She shows off some good acting. But yeah, she's an actress that I've always wanted to see in this kind of leading role. Not exactly like lead action, but just a leading dramatic role. I mean, this isn't really dramatic, but she does well in the action here, and she gives a good performance. And that's what I would say for most of the actors here. They give good performances, especially they know what they're in. They're not trying to overact. They're acting just the right amount. Toby Kebbell, as Will Rutledge, I think is the last name. I'm trying to see, what do I remember him from? He was in War Horse. I like War Horse. He was in an episode of Black Mirror called The Entire History of You. I think it was in the first season. I think it was the third episode. But yeah, I like him, and he's good in the film. He's a British actor, and he's doing a bit of a southern accent here, which I didn't mind his southern accent. I didn't mind Ryan Quanten's either, since they're both British, and I mean, it would have been fine if they were just British characters, but the accents, people really harp on about them. I actually live in North Carolina, so I can say for myself, it didn't bother me. I found them kind of funny at times, especially when they were screaming at each other in them. That was funny. But yeah, he works as this meteorologist character. I buy it. Ryan Quanten as Breeze Rutledge, his, I think, older brother. He's just shorter. I got very confused about that in the film because at the start he's like shorter, and I was like, wait, is he the little brother and that's why he gets picked on? No, he is the older brother, he's just short. So, Ryan Quanten, I kind of wish he got to do a bit more in the film. He does get to do quite a bit in the finale, which is nice. Paying off his whole being a Marine thing. Let me adjust the camera a bit. But yeah, he was fine. Ralph Ineson as Perkins, uh, he's a pretty good villain. I mean, that's not a spoiler. He gets revealed to be the villain, and I mean, he's an actor. You see him in a movie, and you're like, he's gonna be the villain. And Ben Cross, he's not in the film a lot, but it was nice to see Ben Cross kind of just letting loose, doing whatever he wanted. I know people will be like, oh, this is so below him. He was in Chariots of Fire. I don't even think that's that good of a movie. I think the only reason people like that, excuse me, I think the only reason people like that movie was the music. But maybe I just need to watch it again. But yeah, let me just get into it. The pros, the film, the acting is pretty good. It never like took me out of it. Maggie Grace is a capable lead, even though the casting everywhere, even the 4K Blu-ray that I have, that I got this for $2 at Dollar General. Not joking. I am happy. On the back it does say Toby Kebbell in the leading role. I can understand that because the first scene is a flashback to him and Breeze, Will and Breeze as kids, and it's like their backstory, and you don't really get much of Maggie Grace's character's backstory, but she's more of the lead action star. So it is a bit of a confusing one. I can understand why they put him first. I think Maggie Grace would be a bigger name, but this is one of those movies where it's more of a concept film, so people are watching it for the concept and not really who's in it. I can understand that. I can also understand people who are like, ooh, cool, Maggie Grace, because I like Maggie Grace as an actress. She does, in the special features, in the behind the scenes, she does harp on a bit about, oh, it's not often you get to see a female protagonist. Yes, you do. There are plenty of action films with female protagonists, especially around 2018. You had like Red Sparrow coming out. You had Anna that was gonna come out. You had frickin' Peppermint with Jennifer Garner. Like, I understand there's not nearly as many women as men starring in action films, but that's because not nearly as many women as men look the part also. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean where to the point where you can actually buy them. Like, I buy Jennifer Garner beating the fuck out of guys and shooting them in the face. I buy Gina Carano. I buy Sasha Luz in Anna, which sometime I will get to doing a longer review because I loved Anna. But yeah, like, Maggie Grace works fine. If she was doing like martial arts and shit like that, I don't know if I'd buy it, but I bought her enough as a treasury agent or whatever, FBI, whatever it was. The CGI actually looks pretty good. Now, this is one of those films that doesn't specifically just use CGI. It doesn't have the budget to just do straight up CGI and make everything look fantastic. This film had a 35 to 40 million budget. And, I mean, the special features, Rob Cohen said, the director, said, that it was 35, so I'll go with that. The film uses CGI when it needs to. There are many scenes. I liked seeing the behind the scenes because I got to see what was real and what was fake. There's like a scene in the fertilizer shop where there's actual water like beating down the actors, and that was really nice to see. It was very easy to tell that it was practical effects. There's scenes where the pressure shifts that are actually really cool. There's moments where I think they're using like those pools that you can like do disaster movies and like put in the set extensions around the people, and it looks really good. For the most part, this movie looks really good. Like with the CGI wise, just effects wise, it blends well together. It blends together very well. The action, the action is very well done. This film is PG-13. It is, and I usually say that's a minus. For this film, it works. I understand you don't get a lot of disaster films that are rated R, unless they're like parodies, like This Is the End, which I wasn't a fan of. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, the action in the film works well. It's not cutting every half a second, even though Rob Cohen, the director, did do Fast and Furious, and I do remember the editing being a bit weird in that. Maybe I need to watch them again. But there's like 9. There's 9 of them in the main series, and there's Hobbs and Shaw. God. But yeah, the action worked well. There were some nice moments of violence, which was cool. There's a scene where Toby Kebbell, in order to like be a distraction so that Maggie Grace's character can like get something unhooked from the Dominator, which is his like really cool weather car, he starts like throwing hubcaps like off of cars into the air, and then the hurricane winds like fly them into a guy, like one of the guys that's going after them. I thought that was a lot of fun. There are moments that I do remember. There's a scene where they play with atmospheric pressure, like when the pressure drops or gets high or something. Maggie Grace like shoots a flare through the ceiling while her and Toby Kebbell are like attached to these like wires in this like mall, and they like fly into the air, and all of the like a couple of the other like sheriff characters who are like corrupt like fly into the air, and I thought that was cool. The effects may look a bit weird there. I'm guessing mostly because I don't think it's the quality that's off. I think it's the fact that you see 2 people flying like that, and it's kind of an unnatural thing, so it kind of looks a bit uncanny valley. But yeah, like there were fun action set pieces in this that are memorable. I even found it interesting the way that the villains break into the facility, where they don't kill people right off the bat. They have these special guns that have like tranquilizer bullets. I don't know if they're a real thing. Maybe they were CG bullets or something. But it, instead of going like a real gun would sound, it went and they're shooting them surprisingly fast. I don't know. Maybe it's just something made up. I don't know. But I found it an interesting choice for the villains to be like, okay, let's be docile at first and all that. And then they break out the P90s later. But, yeah, other good things. The score by Lorna Balfe, I can't think of how to pronounce his name, was decent. There's like a nice, overarching theme throughout the movie. It's not the thing on the score titled Hurricane Heist, but it's like, da, 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 da. It's very nice. It's not so generic that it just blends in with everything. Oh, and also with the action set pieces, I really liked the ending set piece where it's them driving the trucks and like going on top of the trucks, getting into them, and like slowly making their way up to Ralph and Asen. I thought that was a lot of fun. I think this film knew exactly what it was. It knows not to try to be something it isn't, and I mean that in a good way. Cons. I do wish Ben Cross got to do a bit more. I know, but I've always liked Ben Cross in these kind of direct-to-video. Well, this movie went to theaters. I've always liked him in kind of direct-to-video type movies more than his like big like Oscar-winning performances. But like he just seems like he's having so much fun, and I kind of wish he got to, like, I don't know, kill someone or just have a bit more fun with it. If the I do kind of wish the film was rated R so we could get a bit more brutal, like, fight scenes or shootouts or something. There are certain characters that are kind of stereotypical. Ralph Ineson's character has a girlfriend who's also on his team, and she kind of gets killed unceremoniously, and he doesn't really react to it. And I was like, really? And there's a deleted scene where he like, she's like about to go a bit crazy and like kill someone, and he's like, baby, we need to. He like rubs her face, and you can tell that they have a relationship there. They do say it in words, but like, I do wish they would have like actually put a bit more thought into their relationship, or put a couple more scenes. The movie isn't that long. It's 100. Well, here it says 100 minutes straight up. It's about 100 minutes. Without credits, it's about 93 minutes. But yeah, like this is a very fun film. I do think that like if you are in a Dollar General, or even if you just see it online or on streaming or something, watch it. It's a lot of fun, especially if you know what you're getting into. The 4K did look really nice. I know that there'll be people that'll be like, oh, what's the 4K gonna help? I don't own everything in 4K. I have a few. I don't think I'll ever become a huge 4K collector. I'm more into Blu-rays, because with Blu-rays you can fit more of the special features on the disc than with 4K. 4K you can basically have the movie. For this movie, because it was kind of short, they could put all the special features on here, but it's not like there's a ton of special features. But the special features were nice. But yeah, almost 10 out of 10. But yeah, this is a pretty damn fun movie. I know I'm in the minority on this. I know that a lot of people will just disagree with me. But I stand by my word, and I will say that I really like the film. So there. And this is the movie that I have 5 Blu-rays. I don't know if anybody saw the video where I announced that I have 5 Blu-rays that I'll be giving away when I hit 200 subscribers. And we'll see how to I'll think of a way to do the giveaway. But yeah, watch the film. If anything I said sounds interesting, watch it. But yeah, that's about it for me. I hope everyone liked the review, liked the video, comment, subscribe, and movie reviewer next door out.